Hurry up. Audio check. Video check. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, David, come on. Chuck, good morning, sir. How you doing? Excuse me while I cough on the microphone. We're having fun here. We're having fun. Watching the news every morning, trying to figure out what to do. And of course, there's a ton of crap they've left on my desk. There's a ton of stuff. I have a pile of things to do today. What are we going to do? We don't need this till the customers get here. Okay, there's print checking to do. I can wait for a little longer. There's more print checking to do. JJ number 6. That can wait for a little bit. There is carving, which almost certainly we are not going to be able to get to today. There's a show and tell, which maybe we can get to. Who knows? Let's see what happens when we get that far. First, what I have to do is I have to make a new polymer plate. I know the girls are printing number 3 in the current series, Woodblock programming, and they're ready to go. They're ready upstairs. They finished yesterday, and they need a polymer plate. They're doing the embossing, and that's my job. So let's do this. And then after this is finished, I have a bunch of things to open and do some embossing on. So how's you guys been? How's everybody been? It's been a couple of weeks, right? Audio is a bit static. It's set wherever it was left 2 weeks ago when I left. Our gain is on low, which as we usually do. The microphone is the same distance. Should I drop the gain a little bit? It's marked at minus 3 dB. If I drop it to minus 4.5, testing, 1, 2, 3. So how's everybody doing? Got 0 static, it says, okay. I had a great time over with my family over there. Really, really good time this year. Sometimes, some years it's really, really busy, running around like crazy trying to visit everybody. There's 6 houses that I had to visit, 6 places, staying at most of them. I've been couch surfing all the way. I basically sit at my mother's place, but there's each of my 2 daughters' place. There's my son-in-law's place, one of my daughter's new partner, all kinds of different places to stay. It sounds as though the mic is flowing next to water. The mic is over there. My computer here, the fans are going. If I block between the 2 of them, open. Block. Open. The mic is actually pointed directly at the computer, so maybe if I turn the mic, it's now pointed at me rather than at the computer. Is that a bit better? Turns here, so good. Now remind me, what does this do? This goes in the bottom right corner of the print, so it's got to go it goes here, sure, okay. Let's got registration marks first. Is the computer mic on? No. The MacBook audio is turned off. And let's try this. I will turn off now the other mic, and I'll turn on the MacBook mic. Turning off the outside mic. I'll turn on the computer mic. The computer mic is now on, and you should be hearing lots of fan. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Better or worse? No comment. Testing, 1, 2, 3. No comment. People can't hear me, so I gotta go back. Okay, here we go. Back to the same system. Yeah, this one. Now you tell me it's better. What? So should I go back to the computer mic then? It's now the computer mic again, not the external microphone. No, just can't. Hey, let's do some work. Here's why the other mic should be that. That's the mic we've been using for many years. We use it for YouTube videos. It's a Zoom digital recorder. It's a very high quality unit. Not sure why you can see it here. It's only on a... Did it get old and started here? I don't know. I thought it was from a user site. Voice is muffled. It is indeed, because I've got a head cold thing. This has been fun over the past few days, getting back from traveling with a head cold and all this kind of panic. I got it, I guess, the day after I arrived in Vancouver. The time was really good now, actually. I didn't have any kind of cold or trouble when I left Japan. But they're all concerned. The days coming from Asia. This is 2 weeks ago. So I arrived in Vancouver. It turns out my granddaughter, she's coughing. When I get it, before I get it, so it's nothing to do. And I picked it up from her. Obviously, I got it from her. But good, if it had been the other way around, if I had arrived from Asia and she all of a sudden starts coughing, then the family would have gone. Oh my God, let's see. It was okay. There's our location. The cat one, I haven't finished it yet, I'm sorry. It's been no work on it in the past 2 weeks. New cat. The cat project is indeed a long-term project. It's like it's going to take years now. Actually, the cat project is a very, very long. The problem with the cat project is we have to give priority to our subscription plans. They take priority over everything, absolutely everything, whether it's octopuses or cats or anything. It has to take a backseat to subscription prints. This is the work I'm doing right now. This is related to getting our subscription print out the door every single month.
And this is what the priority is. So everything is subservient to subscription fees. And that's going to be quite an interesting situation over the next few weeks and months. We are, of course, watching the news every day. Also, we watch the website for the city government here in Tokyo. And that's the city government health departments where we're watching this. When they're going to ask shops and stuff in Tokyo to close, if they do. That's going to be our guidance on this. At the moment, we're still open here in Tokyo. We're getting reservations for print parties every day. More reservations are coming in for the time period over the next couple of months. We have had a few cancellations, 3 or 4, I guess, so far. That's all. We had one this morning. Somebody canceled for late March. But other than that, reservations are still actually pouring in. No idea what to expect, where this is going to go, of course. Remember where they line up. What location this month is inspired by? It's not a real location, it's an imaginary location. Oh, I've got a bit too far out. It's, I believe, an imaginary location. I'm not quite sure. Jed took the idea. This is just a rough layout of the, not the right colors or anything. It's a forest shrine, and it's something Jinja. He is purposely smashed up the character so that we can't identify the exact place. This is just a test print on copy paper. Of course, the references to the things to the animation of the forest creature. But it's not a real location. Some of them are real places. You can identify that particular European town or that hill in Tokyo, stuff like this. This one is not a real place that you can actually travel to, I believe. Although, going by Jed's habits, he may have, it's maybe a composite. There may be that stairway somewhere. There may be a tree like that somewhere. And he's composed it based on the pieces, I believe. Right, I think that will do it. Yeah, I think that will do it. There is gomazuri in this print. We don't usually use gomazuri, sesame seed printing. That's pretty good. Okay, here she goes. This is for Susan. She'll be using this morning to do the embossing. She's finished her batch of prints, so that'll set aside for her. Now let's get on to my work. Okay, what we have here today is, let's get this open. This is not show and tell, this is work. It's a package from Yamamoto Shun, who is one of our outside carvers. He's been working for us for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now, I'm not really sure. Really bad sound, I don't know what to do, guys. So should I mix the two audios? Suppose I put the, this is 2, this is 1, there's audio. Okay, there's a mix of 2 audios now. Is this going to work? I've got the computer audio here and the audio over there. Worse, worse, worse. Turn off
the computer audio. We now have just the way I started this morning, the audio over here. It's pointing directly at me. It's a high quality Zoom digital recorder. No filters, nothing. It's on low gain. We've learned that if we put it on high gain, leave it as laptop day. This has more treble, more noise. Okay, putting the laptop back.
and this is the last change today. Yes, there we go. Nothing else I can do about it. Okay, let's get some work done. This is a batch of prints that came in just the last couple of days, and we knew it would come in before I got back. Flowing water sound in the background. My stomach? I don't know. I think so. This is waterproof paper. It's the paper that the paper makers use when they're shipping us a batch of finished washi paper. I just used it last week when I was shipping this package out. Okay, here we go. Get that out of the way. It says Fuji's 36 years of Fuji. That's not what this is. It's just a box. Don't you go, noise coming. Yeah, it's not a plastic, it's like, they used to have, there's something they used to call oilcloth back when I was a kid. It was some kind of cloth that was basically waterproof before the days of, ubiquitous plastics everywhere. And this is a similar kind of paper. It's got some oily type of layer in it. When you look between the top layer and the bottom, there's a black kind of a salt type layer. Let's have a look at what's in here. What's in here? What's in here? The latest batch of the great phase. I have no idea now how many people are on the waiting list. It is many, many, many hundreds of people on the waiting list. And this is what we're getting now. About every 2 months, we get a batch of, I think we sent them 60 sheets of paper. Here we are. We won't be 60. We'll cut the corners off a couple of these. So we only cut corners. We won't be 60 because there's too much cheating and messing somewhere. You know, the bottom of the pile could have something to do. So we won't have 60 finished prints, but we'll have a good batch, 50, 55, we'll see. So my job today now, because people are waiting for this, Cameron is going to start sending out notifications to people on the waiting list. He'll start with maybe the top 30 or so people on the waiting list, see what they process, and then he'll send out, you know, not everybody on the waiting list actually buys the print. So he'll send out the message to the top 30 people, wait a couple of days, process it, money goes and buy it, then the next week, then the next week, then the next week. With me today, I have to do two things. I have to put the embossing on this. These are not embossed. The printer just makes the prints. They don't get embossed until they get back to here. So I'm just going to, before I even check it, I'm just going to go through and emboss the whole pile. And then, after we're off the stream, after I finish the first print party today, I will get under the microscope and we will start picking out bark and shape. There will be little dots and stuff here and there that need to be pulled out. So my job right now is going to be to emboss the name. And that's here. It's a picture designed by Hosai, carving by David Gold, printing by Yamamoto Shun. And to do this, we need a cloth, moistened, and I need a printer's barrel, which I forgot to get ready. So excuse me a minute while I go and fetch one from the party. We couldn't get it under the mat, and we're trying to leave, you know, enough. The normal print like this in the old days was cut right to the image. There were no margins at all. And we've left a little bit of margin. We can't leave too much because there's not enough physical paper. These things are designed to fit the traditional paper size. So we've left about a 5mm margin, top and left. That's where we're going to registration marks. And after the embossing goes in, we leave a bit more, maybe a centimeter at this side. So there should be no trouble, I think, getting this thing under your mat and getting the embossing to show. That side has quite a bit of extra space. Also something I'll need to do, you know, as we do with every batch that comes in, I've got to get through this and check under the microscope to see how the carving is doing. Is there any breakage yet? Is there any places where the line is breaking? It looks clear, the calligraphy is sharp and strong, the tiny eyes, the little dots, all the things on the straw here. This is looking good. We're up to, I think, 1700 so now. I'm not sure exactly. Alright, let's roll. Let's do this. Registration marks I've just drawn on the pencil here. It's going to go in there. The embossing will fall here. It needs to be moistened a tiny bit first. Let's get started. Let's see if we can show what's going on and figure out a good level for zoom. Here's our embossing. It says picture Katsuka Hokusai Hori carving Buru de Rido, and then Suri printing Yamamoto Shun. And I think there's lots of room there to get this under an app. There should be no problem with that, I think. This is looking good. Look at this. Look at this little slammer. Look at this. We've got 1,700 or so of these made. Look at these lines are still good. The oars are still perfect. The places where it starts to break down. Top of the mountain is still good. Look at this, the straw. 1 dot, 1 dot, 1 dot, 1 dot. Still beautiful. The foam is all wide open. Not a crack along the top. No cracks along the top of the wave. The calligraphy still sharp and clear. We are good to go on this for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds more copies. Now, where am I going to put these bits? Slow start to get in after all these breaks. Okay, here we go. In tray and out tray. Let's get rolling. What's a good zoom? Let's see. Okay. Didn't see the away message. I posted it was on the front of the channel. It said 31 I was away for and when I get back. Most of this has been habit every year. I do this. I disappear for those 10 days or 2 weeks in late February. The virus got me, did it? No idea what's going to happen on this. No idea. We've had our planning meetings here, of course, while I was away chatting with the staff members by Skype and mail and stuff. And we've got our plan ready, plan B, plan C, plan D. We're basically just going to follow the guidance from the government if they start telling public places to shut down, then yeah, we will shut down. We were in a fortunate situation that we could close this shop. If I pull the shutter down there and close the shop, cancel the parties, if we had to do that, our business is still quite stable. It's only about 1/3 of our overall business that comes from this access shop. Well, it's growing between 1/3 and 40%. Over and above that, of course, we have online, and then we have our subscriptions. So the idea, if this worst comes to worst, we shut the shop, then of course we keep making our subscription prints. There's no fear, because this is a virus, it's not bacteria, there's no fear of shipping stuff. A virus could not survive on a print that we were shipping. So we can keep running on subscriptions and nobody has any fear of a package coming from Japan. That doesn't solve our problem completely because the staff does the printing upstairs here, and perhaps the city is going to tell people, okay, we're going to shut down the trains because of the risk. If that's the case, then what we will do is we will ship to their homes a temporary printing bench set up, and the printers can work from home if it looks like it's going to go on for a couple of months or whatever. So our business model is actually quite sound, I think. We were chatting about it yesterday, and actually, I shouldn't say this, perhaps. If it turned out that we had to close the shutter and cancel all the print rights, my God, I could get so worked up. I could get some work done. No parties for a couple of months, no customers in the shop. We watch the videos come pouring out. We get the octopus finished, the first cat finished. Son has done such a nice job of this gradation at the back. This block set is now really worn in. When the block set was new, there was grain showing too much on here. That's what you get with new blocks, the wood grain shows. But now the block set is really worn in well, and there's no grain. Beautiful gray. Our choice to keep the sky light. Some of the modern versions have a really vivid sky. I do not like that at all. I've told him, keep it mild, keep it light. You can barely see that cloud. I want to focus all about this mountain and wave. Talking about the print parties, of course, we have an open discussion going on. We're struggling to maintain the print parties. They're so difficult to do, you know. People come in and do the party, they think it's okay, but the staff has to be trained. And you've got to be the right personality to be able to do this. It's turning out to be very difficult for me to find enough people to do these parties. And there are among our staff. It's one of the options available on one of the options we're considering for our business as we carry to the future. Nothing to do with virus, to scale back the concept of print parties. Japan is in a desperate labor shortage. Nobody has asked about the paper, but yes, it is out. I have been up very early. I was up about 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock today. My body is still, of course, on Vancouver time. So I was up at 2 in the morning, so I was easily able to get the paper out. I got it out around 6 or so. 4 packages out today. There's lots of printers up there working. They will be finishing today. I think 3 of them today will be completing their batch of the March print in the Woodblock Journey series. And then they're going to dig right in and start on number 4. Well, they open the country to cheap labor. Well, it's not so easy, you know. Many complications, of course. Cheap labor type of person doesn't integrate well. And Japan doesn't want to set up what they have seen happen in many other countries, in Europe especially, with migrant labor and with cheap labor. They don't mind immigration on a small scale, people like me, who integrate thoroughly, but they don't want lower educated migrant labor type situation. They've got it in a sense now, because they're bringing in people to work at the 7-Elevens and stuff like that. It's on very short-term scale, so maybe people only are here for a few years. Coming should be here soon, I guess. Beautiful day out there. Beautiful sunshine. Finally, winter has arrived. We'll probably be Instagramming later today. The cherry tree across there, you can't quite see it from where you stand here. Actually, the cherry tree, the stem of the cherry tree, you can see in the distance, just in the bottom left corner of your screen there. You can see a tree on our side of the street. There's another tree on the opposite side of the street. That's the cherry tree, and it is now in full flower in February. The cherry season is supposed to be the first week in April, so I have no idea what's going to happen. People have booked their flights for like the last week of March and the first week of April to see the cherries. And here we are, our cherry tree is already blossoming. Just moistening, maybe a bit of water on it. Not enough to make the paper wet. Just gives a tiny bit of moisture so this polymer plate bites in there and leaves a good impression that's permanent. If the paper was dry, I would have to really push much harder, and the impression isn't quite as permanent. It sets. And the paper's been moistened just a bit. This sets now as the paper dries. And it's permanent. I couldn't take that out. If I tried to rub it on the back of a flat sheet, there's no way I can get that embossing out of here. It's permanent. Favorite print? No, not really, not really. Just too many now. It's like asking me about your favorite print. You can't do that. This one, of course. This one, of course, changed my life. If that's the way, I could say it's a favorite print. I don't know. But making this one changed my life. Absolutely. Favorite print is the one in the future, of course. So much of you were chatting about that yesterday up here. What I say next, this is haunting speculative, years and years and years in the future. Before I went to Canada, I went up to visit our papermaker, Iwano-san, up in Fukuoka Prefecture. I chatted about this on the stream before I left. They're doing okay, but they're down to one family now. There's the Iwano family there. Their neighbors, Kitaro, are making some paper. It's not whatever. A lot of it has pulp inside, not so suitable for us. Across the street, their other neighbor across the street, Yamaguchi-san, has now retired. And his tools, it's been decided, Yamaguchi-san's tools have all been, they're being packed up next month, and they're going to go to a museum in Poland. And it's too bad, because we tried to get access to those tools for doing some papermaking experiments, but I was too late. The lady died it was August or September, and I thought I should wait a few months before contacting you, so I did. I waited till late January, February, and I was too late, because by then a local photographer had talked to them. We can't let these tools go to waste. We can't let this stuff go in the garbage. And he hunted around, and he found a museum in Poland. He said, sure, we'd like to have that stuff. So it's all been arranged. And I would have really liked to scoop those tools, but I was too late. You know, what do you do? Somebody dies, you can't phone them the next morning, can I have your tools? You just don't do that sort of thing. But I waited 4 months, and I was too late. It's okay, so be it. The paper-making project here is going to be a very, very long-term thing. It's going to start very small, collecting information, which I'm doing now. Research. Then we will either do it one of two ways. We will make the decision to go for it. We will build a professional workshop out in Omi and just start, assuming that we will be able to do it properly. Or we will try a smaller scale test setup, perhaps here in Asakusa on the 4th floor. And we're still batting around which way to do this. I myself am inclined to just set up a fully professional workshop. Just spend a couple of years organizing it, building tools from scratch, getting it ready, and then teaching ourselves how to use it. But I can't do that while I'm here in Asakusa. What is Dave doing? I'm putting the embossing. Each print has an embossing mark on it. The name of the designer, whatever, it's being embossed here into the paper. The designer, carver, and printer's names are being embossed. And the question there about why does the paper stay in place today, you mean, or during our normal work, the surface of the wood is wet. We put pigment, paste, and mix on top of the wood. We lay the paper down just like that, and you'll see the printers touch it with the band first, and it's now stuck. It wouldn't move anywhere. The printer just has to then take the impression. What am I doing? Did I mention that? No, okay. It doesn't move today because I'm holding it. I'm holding it right here. This paper would slide. There's no pigment and paste. This paper would move around. So I am holding it. John's on the way. Good night, John. See you later. Actually, that reminds me of something. When I was over at my mother's place, she was saying she misses the Twitch streams. You know, like I'm sitting in her living room talking to her. She says she misses the Twitch stream. That's okay. I get the idea. So, but then while we were chatting there, she and I chatted about this. And I suggested to her, look, why don't you look up some other Twitch streams? There's other people doing, stuff. Like my mother's sitting there knitting and doing stuff like this. So I said, why don't we look up? So we looked up on Twitch, and there's a few other people doing crafty sort of stuff. Well, not a few, a lot. There's other guys doing woodwork. There's people fixing cars. There's people doing, a lot of people are crocheting with things. Then there's a few knitting. So, I just try to show her, look, maybe this is interesting, whatever. But most of the channels, whatever, didn't seem to be quite very interesting. I don't know, no idea. But what was funny was we were watching this knitting stream, and then there was comments coming in, and she says, look at that! There's one of the people commenting there, who is one of the people commenting right here on our stream right now. No names here, no names. There's people, I can see a name right in front of me here, and this person has been watching a knitting stream. So I said to my mom, what are you here? Jump in and say hello, say hello, Mr. whatever. No names, it's okay. You can out yourself if you like. I'll keep quiet. But, some of our regular viewers here are also moonlighting by watching the knitting stream when Dave is not busy. Or maybe all the time anyway, I don't know. Maybe we have some professional Twitch watchers here. When one stream is over, they switch to another one. Way to spend your life. We had a good laugh about that. It might have been crocheting. I don't remember exactly. I'm sorry. Knitting or crocheting, one of the two. I don't know. Also, I was trying to get my mother to comment more. She's probably here this morning. I don't know. I assume she's here this morning. I was, suggesting to Mom, to say hello more often. Let people know you're there. She's shy. She doesn't want to get in. She's not pushy person, so she's just happy sitting there watching. But I really wish Mom would now and then again say hello a bit more often. So. I had a good time in Vancouver this time. I'm just sitting with my mom. We don't do much, She's knitting and she's got a few daily activities. She gets a certain crossword puzzle each day and stuff like this. And those puzzles are too difficult. She does cryptic crosswords, which for me are really, really difficult. I can't do them by myself. I can do like the New York Times puzzle, stuff like that. That's nothing, just write it in. But the cryptic crosswords, the British cryptic crosswords, I am not good at those at all. But she just writes in, I get stunned by this. My 90x-year-old mother is sharper than I am in this thing. She had enough friends. Where's Mr. Camera? Should be here in a minute now, I think. It's his usual time, 8:45. The trains are funny again. His train is always strange. Speaking of my mother too, I screwed up on Monday. I went to the airport, flew home, and she had given me some extra keys for the house, so I still got the keys for my mother's place. I forgot to drop them off before I left her. So I'm going to have to post them, send back the keys. She's got her own set, of course. This is an extra set. She keeps me when I'm there. No, my mother's in Vancouver, Canada. I was over there for 2 weeks, just getting back yesterday. And there was lots of interesting things to do. She lives in what do you call a strata title building. It's not a condominium, I don't know what. It's a large apartment tower, and each person owns their own unit inside it. Yeah, we're on the post. We're going to post them to my sister's place, of course. We won't post them to her own house. We know that. But just while I was there, in fact, the annual general meeting for her building, her strata, was up, and there was a huge proposal for a very, very massive expenditure, $3.5 million expenditure. And the council had just sent a note saying, annual general meeting on Monday, vote yes or vote no. Nothing information about it. So my mother's asking me, what do you think? $3.5 million, like, what should we be doing with this? So I go online to the condominium association, and I find it turns out that all the engineering reports and stuff over the period of years previous to this, there's been engineers in the building studying and doing their, engineering report card for the building. Every 3 years, it's mandated by law that it has to happen every 3 years. So I downloaded the engineering reports, and Dave here, Woodblock Primitor Dave, tries to study the reports about metal fatigue and pipe lifetime, all this kind of stuff, and whatever. So, but yeah, it seems this is a legit thing. The building is 43 years old, designed for about 50 years. It's not going to fall down. It's massively strong concrete. But the subsystems, the heating system, copper pipes, all the stuff inside is coming to end of life. So there are some massive expenditures coming up for my mother's building. And you can see the dilemma for her. She's, I'm 68, and this is my mother, so you can guess what sort of age she is. And she's not so interested in spending a whole ton of cash for an investment that's not going to pay back for decades and decades. So. I hear footsteps upstairs, and there's sound we can't see from here. The camera went upstairs. Sometimes we've got about maybe 5 minutes left on this job, and switch to the next job. So I'm sure you're here, I guess, any minute or whatever. Unless he's booking off today. No email. No email. So we've got 60 there now. Maybe we'll be about 50, 55 good ones. Not quite sure. We'll see how the bar, especially because we pick up the bar. So next week or so, we're going to have 50 or 55 very happy people. They've been waiting for years to get this. Cameron, I believe, has already started sending messages out last night to the first people on the list, top people on the list. Yeah, there it goes. The Masked Man. The man with the mask. Sorry, jumping there. That's for studio sound, embossing.
All right.
All okay at home? Everybody okay still?
Yep. Everyone's good.
Nobody more sneezing, coughing, whatever?
Nope.
Who knows?
All good. Sorry. It's been a while.
Yeah, 2 weeks, the show. So, I forget, what do we do here? We turn, I can't remember. Apparently we've got audio problems this morning. I can't say they're complaining. What do I mean? They're commenting that the audio is, whatever, noisy, hissy, something.
Yeah, the fans.
I don't really know. I'm sorry. I don't know. Move it up here.
Could it be just a set wrong beam? No.
I tried all the usual, usual things, but they said they said it sounds like water running. And at the moment we've given up on this mic, and it's now the MacBook audio, which the majority seem to think was better sounding. But, what did you touch in Dave's microphone? Whatever that one at the moment is. You can see it's turned off. We're on the MacBook audio at the moment. So. It's been pretty quiet, not so much conversation.
How's the mood over in Japan? Do people worry a lot about the virus? People are asking. We were talking about that just yesterday.
Well, it's changed life here. Asakusa, the district, is very, very quiet. The restaurants are very quiet. People are cutting down on going out in the evenings, obviously.
Yeah.
The city government, Tokyo government, has made suggestions that larger gatherings should be, don't think about not doing it. What's the message? 500 people or more or something?
Yeah.
Our local city office has shut down many of its meetings and, what was that, events and what kind of stuff?
Activities, events, classes, anything run by the town itself is pretty much gone. It sounded like they were offering free Japanese courses for foreigners and town hall meetings and music performances.
And those are on hold now. Yeah.
Everything's canceled.
But trains are running, shops are okay,
Yeah.
and we're just waiting for the word from on high as to what we should do ourselves. We've got sanitizing wipe and stuff like that up and running. The staff all wears masks when the customers are here.
Yeah. Last night I read Hokkaido has shut down all of its elementary and middle schools for the next 2 weeks.
The whole prefecture?
The whole prefecture.
Has there been a number of cases there?
Yeah, they're up to 38.
In schools?
In
No,
yeah,
in the
quite a
prefecture.
few are in schools, but
Really?
38 in all of Hokkaido.
Yeah, because of it's colder up there.
Yes,
I'm funny, we don't hear anything from like Australia. That's summertime down there, so this is a food.
Yeah.
Really? You're looking forward to working at home, I think, right?
Yeah, not bad.
Trapped up in the house 24 hours a day with kids. Good.
Everyone's just gotten very quiet. Oh, so got Solitudes number 12 in the mail today. Finished the series. Thanks, Kim.
Oh,
Dave.
that batch
All
is
right.
finally done, is it?
Yep.
Soka. So where do we stand on that now? Actually? The next,
The binding for the beginning of the series. We're starting over, and
and that, we've got all the parts.
yeah, all the
components.
parts
Okay.
have been sent. It is being bound as we speak. Right. So, and she wants it.
How much think about that new fourth stuff.
Ah, the labels.
Yes. Exactly. Good. Thank you, Ron.
Yeah. I don't know how I reminded you, but
Whatever, by mentioning that.
I just went up a little bit. You read about Gyotaku already, printing with fish.
I saw they were talking about it.
Okay. Done that before. One major benefit is you get to eat your model.
Yeah. And die. Just the outside. Should try whale Gyotaku.
You need one big piece of glass.
Almost got 3 more sheets. I did the preparation of the juicy lump for Sudas.
Right.
Next, I've got some checking. I've got to go home and today and stuff into the checks.
That's right.
But if you go to the 10 Top Party, it's a group of American travel agents. It's an IJ. You should drop down and say hello.
Yeah. Probably emailed some. There's a lot of show and tell packages under your desk.
There are some. I mean, I wasn't able to participate in too many auctions while I was away. The problem is, the Yahoo auctions, people put stuff out. They almost always put the closing time at around 9:30, 10 o'clock in the evening. And that's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
4 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, come on.
I want to be asleep. But it's a good time for when you're in Tokyo.
Yes. Which is why we do it. Yeah. And it's no good putting in your high bid and then going to bed 6 hours early, because always, you lose it. Always.
Yeah. How may I help you? Yes, we did decide on a price, and we only have one package left of the Matchbox extras.
Are they all gone? Really?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Claim the $20 for a pack of 10 of them, and then $2 for shipping, because we've just been able to send them in very small packages.
There's one left.
Yep. I'll take it. All right. Well, now there's none left.
Speaking of Instagram stuff, did you see the cherry tree across the street? It's
Yes.
full bloom.
Yeah, I actually did get a picture of it,
Okay.
so I'm scheduled.
He's had some trouble with
Yes, just email the usual email address. I don't know which one's the usual for you, but pretty much any of them will arrive to you.
info@mokohankan.com.
KP there. So we actually have 4 in the building, but KP has reserved some as well. So. Maybe I misremember. We might have a couple now. I'm trying to remember now. I'll check. Too bad you can't take your naps on the plane. You could have gotten a lot of carving done on that flight.
Yeah, right.
Not happening.
Tap. Hey, you back there. Shut up. There was actually a request, this is years ago, decades ago. I was in Humming, or 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Virgin Atlantic was opening a new run from, I forget where, London to Tokyo or something.
Wow.
And they were going to run like a jumbo jet or something, full of media and whatever.
Yeah.
And they filled it with Japanese quote entertainers and stuff.
Yeah.
So the whole flight was going to be like a party, blah blah blah. And they approached me, or one of their agents approached me, to get on the plane in London, have a little corner up in the upper deck of the 747,
Yeah.
somewhere on the plane, whatever. And I would make a print during the course of the flight, start to finish.
Wow.
And I would cut some blocks and print some blocks, whatever. And at the end of it, the print would be given out to all the free guests, all guests on the plane.
Wow.
there was a proposal, and I wrote back or talked to them. I can't even remember on the phone or whatever it was. What I could do and what I couldn't do. They wanted like 250 prints, all to be ready by the end of the flight, stuff like that. So we could have gotten ready in advance and then just done some carving and printing,
Yeah.
so people could see it.
Yeah.
And it didn't come through. Either the whole thing was canceled or just my part of it was canceled. I don't remember. The proposal was there.
Could have done the at the hot spring print. You did that in about 3 hours. So.
Yeah. And then printed a bunch.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch. So. With our in-house printers, they all do their own name embossing.
Yes.
Why with Yamamoto-san does he not?
It's a good question. I don't remember. Somebody just asked me. Of course, I don't know any. He's not the name on it.
Yeah.
But Yamamoto-san does put his name on it for the. No, he doesn't. No, he didn't do anything. He printed like the one behind.
Yeah. Oh, his name is printed on there.
Yeah, but I did it.
Oh.
No, on the Ginza, I don't have any idea on the Ginza.
Oh, okay.
It's not our.
Right.
That's not my production. I went the one right beside it.
Got it.
The other thing too is there was the question about who makes the decision, which ones are good enough to get the name and stuff like that. And I said, but actually, what I do is I just run the whole batch and then I color and I chop the corners. So,
Yeah.
this looks like a good batch. Yeah. I think we sent 60 sheets of paper. And there aren't going to be 60 prints, but there's going to be really close to it.
Yeah. Is this in a spot in the paper or no?
It's defective wash. Yeah,
Oh, okay, so it's paper.
Right, that's that job. Let's move on to something else. This was a fairly number one sheet. Okay, they now go under the microscope one by one to get the bark and stuff picked out, pulled out. There's no point in starting that job here on the street. So let's move on to something else.
That paper towel looks like the ones in the U.S. sold in auto parts stores for mechanics. That's exactly what it is.
We get it from Canada, right?
Yep, and it is
What are they
for
called?
auto
workshops.
mechanics. Yeah. Yeah,
It's fun. We haven't been able to find one. I can't say I've hunted very far. We get them from Amazon here in Japan,
Yeah.
but they are imported paper towels.
Yep.
Okay, no, not for home and stuff. What workshop is?
Yeah, workshop.
Okay, what is next? What's next is, let's have a look. We have some prints to unwrap. These have to be checked, and they got to go to Ome this afternoon. So that might get sidetracked because the girls are about to dump a bunch of stuff on me from upstairs.
More prints.
What is this? This is JJ number. Tommy number 6, is it? This is. I can't see what we're doing here. We are reprinting last year's subscription series because there's still many requests for it. This is carving on a chompa. The printing is Ohashi Ayumi. This is Ayumi, the famous Ayumi from our YouTube videos. Not the Ayumi-san who makes the monster prints, the ghost spider prints, the Ayumi-san who makes, who's a printer for it. She's back after making her baby. But having a baby, she's working for it. She can't do too many hours a week, partly because of family responsibilities, and partly because of the way the taxes in Japan work. Housewives can't earn too much more than the threshold. It turns out that their husband has a severe tax penalty. It's very archaic and backwards. Everybody's screaming about it. The government here is so conservative. They desperately need labor. Those old guys in the
The
government.
limits.
Who
Who can live?
women belong in the kitchen and all that stuff and blah 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 blah. And she's put some question marks on this group. She put NG, no good, which may be true, may not be true. Anyway, let's get through this. There's probably not anything to do. They just simply look at each of these numbers and actually. And the bark is not an issue because it's so dark and there's so much coverage. The bark spots are an issue really when we have wide open spaces. So this point isn't happening because I've just got to make sure they're lined up in this illustration. They still match the sample. She's already told me they're okay, so it's just a formality here for me to is it true? But we do still try and check every print. Three people check every one. Printers themselves, she's already gone through these. Of course, she went through while they were printing, but after they were finished, she's gone through like this to check each one after they're dry. Comes to me, I'm the second person to do that. And then after they go to OME, the point they're being packed, that's the third and most strict step. Yes, Lisa is very stricter than us, and not because she's an experienced printer or whatever, but because she feels as the last person in the chain, the last person to see it, she feels, we don't do this to her, but she feels that she's the one that's going to get blamed if there's a claim by a customer. And sometimes stuff does slip through. Sometimes we just do this so quickly. Oh my God, we're rushing, we've got to ship more. Just go one. Sometimes things do slip through, and she really feels that seriously. There's also the question of what the stock. I don't know if you can see here. This print. The print looks nice, but does it show how come? There's a slight mark in the paper here.
It's too much contrast. There we go.
Does it show?
Yep.
This actually is a tiny defect from the paper maker's point of view. This must have been a piece of paper that was near the edge of the sheet. We cut the selvage off, and there's still a bit of a mark. Maybe when they were brushing the paper out onto the drawing boards, it creased a tiny bit. I have no idea. And our question, Aisa has sent it through, and I'm going to send it through. From my point of view, this doesn't detract from the print at all. And actually, I'm one of the people who thinks I really like to see, touches of the handmade aspect of this. If it was a crease that ran up into the print, I would dispose of it with no question. I think I'm going to leave that. I know where this is going to go. 2 weeks from now, we're going to get a package from OME with a bunch of prints in it. She's going to say, "Are you sure you want to send this through?" And I will tell her, "Yes, I've thought about it. Shall we talk about it?"
There are a couple of things we wanted to ask this year. Maybe you already have. I'm trying to remember what they were last night, though. One, I remember we just wanted to bring up the virus, of course, because we were talking about, or we already talked briefly about it. I was wearing a mask.
Remind me, what was the other? We were going to toss it out to the screen. Oh no, we did it ourselves. It was the peel thing. Remember, we were going to ask them.
Yeah. And then we found
we did it. We found it ourselves. So right?
Yeah. All set.
We were chatting about something yesterday, and Cameron said, "Oh my God, if I have to do it myself, it's going to take 16 hours to do that by myself." I said, "Cameron, you don't do that. You just simply talk about it while the stream is on, and they will fall over themselves to try and find the answer as quickly as possible." we were half laughing about this.
Crowdsourcing.
So, but then we realized actually that we ourselves had access to that information from another source.
Because one of you had already taken care of it for us.
Yes. Somebody here had clipped a part of one of the streams. We were thinking we need to find a specific 30-second slot from one of the old Twitch streams. Now, how do we find it? And Dave here has whatever it is, 10 terabyte drive with all of the streams on them from day one. And we needed to find a particularly 30-second clip on here. Okay, Cameron, 10 terabytes, go for it. Find a 30-second clip. So we were saying, no, it's easier. Ask the stream.
But one of you already did it for us.
Clipped it for us. So we just looked through the Twitch clips, and away we went. So good.
That's one from a year and a half
I do
ago.
believe that was my idea.
What, we're working on Mokuhan-kun now? Thanks for putting it down. Yeah.
They're going to want to get paid. Right?
Yeah. Oh. Volunteers.
Did I tell you the thing about the knitting stream when we were chatting yesterday?
No, a knitting stream.
When I'm in like in my mother's place 2 weeks ago, whatever. I'm sitting there, we're doing this. She says, "Oh, it's Twitch time," and it was like Wednesday afternoon in
Yeah.
Vancouver. It's like right now the stream, the
Yeah.
Thursday morning stream in Tokyo. It was Wednesday afternoon,
Right.
and she's like, "I gotta be. It's Twitch time. I'm like something's wrong. And I'm
Yeah.
sitting right in front of her. I was my
Like,
mom.
"Can't you
I'm
just
here,
watch me? I'm
let's
here."
talk or something. But she's no, I missed the streams. I missed the streams.
Oh, that's fun.
So that made me think about it. So we got my laptop. We pulled up Twitch. I mean, my stream is not running,
Yeah.
obviously. But I said, Mom, you're sitting there knitting. There's a bunch of people like doing knitting streams. There's, water
Yeah.
woodwork, there's this and that. So I thought she would jump on it. So I pulled up. So I pulled up a knitting stream, and it was sort of okay. The woman was just chatting, whatever. And she hadn't got the camera. She was knitting, but she put the camera behind her hand, so you couldn't see the actual point of the needles. And I'm thinking, oh, come on, just move it, whatever. But anyway, so we're there, and the chat's going on.
Yeah.
And in the chat, I see some familiar names from our chat right here. And remember, this is happening at the time when we are normally streaming.
Yeah.
So some of these people here, I'm not going to say any names, but it's okay. I'll tell you afterwards after we're done.
But
Some of these people really have a Twitch habit. And
Yeah.
they've gone, Dave's not there, so
Where do
they
we go?
desperately, this is good news, bad news. When they don't watch me, a knitting stream is good enough for a substitute. I mean, what? What? If I'm not here, turn it off and go home. So I said to my mother saw this. She said, "Oh look, it's
yeah.
it's this such a person." I said, "Well, good. Jump in the stream. We're logged in.
Say
So-
hi."
Say hi." She's no. She's so
No.
shy about this.
That's funny.
I'll tell you later who it was. It's okay.
Probably already been mentioned, but anyone else hearing the background hissing sound? Yes, it's
Yes,
been
we have
mentioned.
talked about
We're-
this is awesome.
We'll work on it next time.
We're on the
Not
MacBook.
sure what it is.
Well, the fan's running,
Yeah, so it could be the.
but we
Either
tried
fan.
it. I don't know. We went back and forth, and the consensus was this mic, a good, high quality digital mic, was behaving worse.
Knitting is better than shoot 'em ups. Vivid creepy says.
I think twitching first-person shooters or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. I tried to show my mother what's Twitch really for. So we went right to the top page of Twitch and followed somebody in a whatever what's it called? One where they're going out and they shoot.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
kind of-
Forest, nice.
something like this. And she's like, "What is he doing?" She can't follow it, but
Right.
it just happens. So
It's so chaotic.
and she's like, "That's fun."
It's, everyone likes different stuff. You have a rough idea of what it would cost to send Gumpy to the US? Yes, it's on the website now. I don't know it. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but if you put it into your cart, you will see. You don't have to follow through with the order if you just want to check the shipping cost.
Well, it
That will
doesn't,
be
it's
automatically
not
checked.
mentioned in the description. Then. I thought we put that in the description.
I think
This
we
is
may
a
have, so it could be
separate
there
shipping.
too. But
Yeah, just run a test. You can run a shopping cart without putting your name in or anything. Just do a test. The shopping cart is a very user-friendly cart. It's not one of those that asks you to put your name and address and serial number and birthday and mother's maiden name, and then it says, by the way, the shipping is $5,000. We don't do it that way. So you can look at the prices, you can test the shipping long before you put your name in anything.
I think that link is right. I hand typed it though, so we'll see.
Well, the PHP 8.8.
Yeah, 8101.php.
You didn't start at 8.0. You started at 8.1. Didn't you?
Yep. Because remember we talked about having each 100 be a different category. And I think we
One was going to be paper and two was going to be knives or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Okay.
Which clip did we search for? It's actually on that link now. It was
Appeal.
looking for
So,
appeal. We wanted to know.
appeal. We wanted to
or-
show how to use this Gumpy.
Yep.
Instructions on how to use the Gumpy and stuff. She's done a nice job. I don't know if I emphasized this back at the beginning when I opened this. If you look at these prints, and just look at this, they're just all the same. All the same. I mean, the modern printmakers are just varying to look at, and many of you know that kind of stuff. Our pride is making them look the same.
Yep.
Variation is
The enemy.
failure. Yes, variation is failure. We do our variation at testing time, but once it's decided, down we go. And that's their pride. They make them as close as possible all the same. We don't always send out the tweets that go, because we've got 3 printers every month working on these things, and especially this month.
Yeah.
Dave Chan, Ishikawa-san, and Suba-san.
Yeah.
And there's 2 things. Actually, it's really, really been difficult to make it look the same as Jed's sample. So we gave up partway. We didn't even try and make it match Jed's sample exactly. We made it look like an interesting good print. But because 3 ladies did it, they came to it with a bit of a different approach. And we actually have here, I'm not sure if I should admit to this online, slight, some differences here in these 3 groups. We have written A, B, and C.
Each person was consistent with
Yeah,
her
and
own
they're not
group,
that. It's not
but-
like blue, green, yellow or something. Of course not. They look very much the same. But there is definitely a group A, a group B, and a group C. And I myself, my personal preference is the group C. I saw it when I got home.
Yeah.
So when we have future printers, I'm going to ask group C to be the model for going forward. But they're not.
Fever Dreamer. Where do I need to click on the website to see the price for the Okami prints? Maybe it's the one in our portrait series. I just put a link. Or maybe you're looking for a GK print from Jed.
No idea. So we have no single look block.
Yeah.
So go to the subscription section
Right,
for
sorry.
portraits number 1. That's where our woodblock will come in. Over at Jed website, materials.com. These look good. And that was the easy part, but you've marked a bunch of these. Here's your question group. This is the group, she said, question. She thought there was an issue at some point. But I've already found 2 that did have an issue. One's got a paper problem, and the other one had a paper problem on the fish. So I set this. I use that. This is not a question. This is no good. It's misregistered. This is out. I know what you want. Cameron's got it. Cameron's got it. Don't talk to me. He's got it. He's got it.
まだ。
できたよ。できたよ。
ありがとうございます。
リュックに家でやったよ。キャメロンが。
キャメロンさんが
He took it out of his backpack.
びっくり。嘘何
今リュック
違う。
から出したよ。でしょ？
お家でやってきたの嘘。嘘。危ない騙されるとこだった。
He's constitutionally incapable of telling a lie, even as a joke. Is it built in that strong? You can't even tell a joke as a lie?
本気で
You're no fun.
I know.
You're
She's
no
so
fun.
worried. She's so confused. I feel bad.
今本気でキャメロンさんがやったのかと思って
He's so square. I mean, I thought I was square, but Cameron is so square.
Yeah.
まさかだよねびっくりした
Are you worried about a lightning bolt or
No.
something?
She just looks
びっくりした
pain.
焦った
Am I that much of a bad guy?
No.
やっぱりね、そう、騙されるとこだった危ない危ない
No, we just blew up all 3 microphones, I
Yeah.
think.
Headphones off. Volume goes back to
Say hello. Hello,
low.
this is Suga-san. To show
ま
she's.
だあれってね、ハローどこ
You're over there. So, over there.
こっち
Headphones
あ、
off.
しばさんおはようおはようございます
Your face was just a treasure.
Oh no, what have I done?
危ない危ない
I guess the mic works. It's
Yep, you
yeah.
know. Sorry about that, but your face. I think she's questioning because the white is a little brighter than the ones she gave us. The first one is misregistered. This is the question we cannot see what she says in the That's what it didn't think it looks like.
You didn't need to tell us who it was. I think they
Well,
could
no,
tell.
there has been confusion on
Yeah.
the stream actually. Ishikawa-san has a huge voice. I mean, she gets near. I mean, the microphone yells, whatever. She has really, really caused trouble.
Yeah.
But so Sugi-san also is Genki, but the one who really destroys microphones, and you've got to get your headphones off quickly, that's Ishikawa-san. She wasn't here today. So there's confusion out there in Radio Land about these two ladies. They're both really Genki, really happy people. And
Both
they let it go.
printers too.
And they print, and they let it go. They let it go. But there's one, years and years, I don't even remember. Remember, Ishkal Samstos, the mic is there, and she leaned over to me and just yelled something. And later, whatever, smoke came out of it or something. I don't know. And we had bills for medical expenses, and, people's ears and popped. And then this is the group she has marked as NG. So I've got to look pretty carefully at this group. Although again, these kids they're being, what's the word? They're erring on the safe side. Yes, side of caution. And my problem now is I look at it and I'm like, where's the problem? But she has seen something definitely that maybe is so this group actually I would keep separate. We'll keep it separate now. Is she inside? No, I didn't take paper out. So I would like to check with her side by side. She'll say, "Can't you see this? You idiot! The fish is upside down."
Yeah.
Or whatever. It's okay. The other thing too is the light. Sometimes under a different light, they look quite different. I think she's calling this up because it's too much light. Under different light, they can look quite different. And this side light is particularly forgiving, so you should put the right side into the pavilion under that harsh light. It's the trouble for us too, because people will open these in their own home. They get the package, they open it up, and they might be in a classroom with fluorescent lights. They might be in a house with a desk lamp. There might be a natural light kitchen, streaming through the window. So people are going to see these under all different kinds of light temperatures, light scenarios, and side light and direct light. And sometimes in an office or a classroom situation, where the roof is filled with these, fluorescent lights.
Yeah.
It's the most god-awful way to look at it. And we feel sad about that. We carefully look at it nicely. And then they open it in a clinical situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Same again.
Sure. This would be part of the test. Okay. There's three I can't see. She says they're no good, but I cannot see.
Your new question group.
So I'll just put them upside down here, and I'll send them through because I cannot find anything. But we'll let Leslie sign. Do you need a count on these right now? We're getting close to the end of the month. Do you need to count them before I send them off, or are you going to?
No, I think. Yes,
she will be counting
count
before
payday.
payday.
So, yeah. So this really is one of the least prints.
Yes, it is. It is. I think so too. It's got a bit of a story in the design. I first saw Jed's design on a sizing screen. This is a year and a half ago. And Jed had been late getting the design ready. And he showed it to me on a sizing screen. He didn't show me what you see here. He showed me something different. I don't know what bad enough that is. And I looked at it, and I just simply went silent. I didn't, forgot. If I have comments about a print, I don't even want to do this in public. Jed said, I'm showing it to me, and I don't want to, diss the guy in public. So I just kept quiet. And he felt that I should have said something about it, yes, and I really didn't like it. And it caused me a problem, because I simply ignored it and kept up with my work. So it was publicly shown. This is not Aini-san, this is Suritaro. Have you heard that story? I don't know. Do you know what this is all about?
Mr. Printer.
Suritaro, Mr. Printer. Our newest printer here. You can see by the way he ties his stuff It looks just like what we saw one at the beginning of the stream today. I opened up the package from Yamamoto-san,
Yeah.
who ties the prints up exactly the same way because he learned from
From the same work.
Kubota-san. And Sugitaro also learned from Kubota-san. So they have the same background, these two gentlemen.
Incognito.
He's printing incognito, exactly. He's an outside printer looking for it, doing a very, very good job. I'm thinking that one day he will perhaps get him full time. He doesn't want to take that kind of risk, whatever. Yeah, that's better word to use. The workshop he is working for currently has been in business for 100 years. And you have to think twice before you abandon a 100-year-old workshop to go and work for a guy who, like, whatever, like me. I think we're doing well, but he has to look at doing it and think, am I as secure and safe as an employer as the current workshop where he's been working for 100 years. But he too is doing a very, very nice. For him, this is throwaway. It's just the same thing. I just opened this. I've never seen it, but I know what we're going to see. We're going to see identical color, top to bottom, front to back.
Would have been cool if you got the people to walk across as you were doing a flip book. Not possible, I know. Yeah, okay. Let's see. See what we can
Now this one I may have to reject a few more because we have now lots of open white space. It's not like when you're rejecting, I will have to do some microscope or surgery and get in there. I can't see it yet, but almost certainly as I go through the file, there will be some that have bark straps in and one right there in an open area. So I will have to split these now into two groups. One that goes straight to the studio. Jeez, he's done such a nice soft job, you know? Such a nice soft job. Have you seen this? I'm so happy with these prints. You know?
I love those clouds.
I do too. I do too, and that's again part of the design story. When I guess I can say this, you know, when Jed takes the trouble to do some rough sketches first and send them over, you can usually make some comments that help to improve. You know, there's no genius in the world. It's so maybe Beethoven's or whatever. You know, they lay it down. And even Beethoven tested and tried and fixed and fixed. And when Jed does it by himself right to the finish, it's a bit frustrating because an outside agency can see some of the things that he didn't see himself. And his first version of this had been in 4 stripes. There was the close by green, a middle green, another green, and then the sky. And it was okay, but it was bland. It was bland. And I suggested again, look, because it's sort of all the same, too much green, it all looks the same. Let's do something else. Let's grab that little cloud you were drawing for, and let's make this print all about the clouds. Just, you know, let's make it a big sky. Let's make it about Montana or something. Whatever. I don't even know where this is. But let's do some big sky. These clouds are fun. Clouds are beautiful. Clouds can really have drama. Let's do that. So we, of course, for a few minutes, he back and forth on Skype, and he did a real rough. Something of the extent that we see now. It's still a bit classical in that it's split in half. I think some of the earlier sketches, we pushed the sky even farther down, but it became a bit, can we really get away with this? So we compromised on this kind of thing. And I think it's a good balance. And it points out something that I really try and talk to Jed about whenever I am really fiddling with the stuff, interfering, as you might say it. And try. Each print, I think, you have to look at this had 2 bushes of people, had trees that had the horizon. You have to take one of those things, grab it, and make the print about that thing. Rather than trying to balance everything, a little bit of everything. Then the prints become bland that way. But if you can grab one thing and magnify it and make it all about that, and then the other things are, it's a supporting orchestra. There's around supporting the work. And I
This
think
is the melody. The chords.
whatever, how far you want to stretch the analogy, I don't know. But it does it. And we've done that the same with the current print. You probably haven't seen it, the print from July. And we have something similar. We have an idea about this and that, and this and that, and this and that. And we grabbed one thing. Luckily, I was in the area from the process. We grabbed one thing, zoomed in, and made it print all about that thing. And I think those are the ones that really work.
Shine,
And I'm not the designer here, but whatever. A little bit of touch makes sense. I could never do anything like this by myself, not even with mold. It's like a golf swing coach or something. You know, maybe you can sort of do it yourself, but not really well. But as a swing coach, you can stand back and you can see, put that angle a bit different, what would happen, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what coaches are about. Sunday morning quarterbacks, they all know how to do this. Oh my God, we could do it so much better than that guy down on the field, you know.
Yeah.
If we were down on the field, we couldn't. But we
You're
can
right.
certainly see from where we sit. He should have thrown that
Yeah.
way instead
Yeah.
of that way. You know, so.
So it reminds me of the Windows XP background picture.
Yeah, somebody
I
said
can
it
see
before.
that,
It
yeah.
shows so what about the rest of it. But they didn't have the clouds that we bring to the table here, right? So,
Huh. People are having a hard time hearing you, I guess, now.
because we're on that microphone.
Yeah. It is 9:37 actually.
No
so,
way,
yep.
9:37.
Yep.
What? I get a print party in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, Kevin. You should have done a.
Oh,
me
you
sooner.
had a great
I'm
story.
talking too much. All right.
Didn't want to interrupt
All
the
right.
story.
Okay, what's the schedule here? Today is Thursday morning. Next stream is going to be Saturday morning. We're back to the normal schedule, 3 days a week. Japan time, Thursday morning, Saturday morning, Monday morning. Saturday morning, Cameron won't be here. Cameron will be outside if it's not raining too much. We're back up at it. I will be still doing miscellaneous works. I will be probably carving on the first print in the cat series, which
All right.
is scheduled to now appear in 2029 or something like this.
29.
I don't know.
It's coming.
It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
We will see you next time.
No, sign off. I have to get ready for a print party now at 10 o'clock. Get my mask ready, you see? I didn't put my mask.
All right.